Hey everyone, and welcome back to the EdgeVerse Techcast. This is your go-to spot for everything NXP software, tools, and enablement, specifically for, obviously, the MCUs and MPUs from NXP, and a little bit of everything in between. I'm one of your co-hosts, Kyle Dando.
And I'm Bridgette Stone. Today we're plugging into one of the hottest topics in tech, and that's energy storage. Whether you're thinking EVs, solar panels, or backup systems for your home or the factory, energy storage is at the center of it all. And spoiler alert, NXP is right there too, helping make these systems intelligent, safer, and more efficient.
And to help us break it all down, our guest today, we've invited Marcelo Marques, our go-to expert for power and energy storage. We call them our technology pillars, and Marcelo is great at providing all the insight and research into what is going to make NXP deliver the best solutions for our customers. So welcome to the show, Marcelo. Before we jump into our questions we have for you, why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, Kyle, thank you for having me. My name is Marcelo Marques, and I'm the Global Marketing Manager for the Power Energy segment within NXP. My focus is on energy storage.
Okay, Marcelo, hardest question of the day. Imagine you're stuck in an elevator with a very curious stranger. How would you explain energy storage to them in 30 seconds?
Okay, so let me think about it. I would say, do you ever think about how your phone stays alive all day, or how do you drive electric cars and they don't need gasoline? That's all thanks to energy storage. It's this new technology that let us save electricity for when we actually need it. It's like a battery, but you can imagine on a very massive scale. Another thing would be solar panels. They are sucking sunlight, and energy storage is what let us use that power at night. So it's a game changer for clean energy. It makes the grid more reliable, and it helps us move away from fossil fuels, which is the goal for global energy. There is all kinds of energy storage. There is batteries. You can pump our water back to tanks. We have compressed air. There is a lot of innovations going on, but what we focus on at NXP is on the battery storage.
All right, well, that's excellent. I appreciate that. You made it very simple and practical. I think most of the listeners can tie into what you shared. So for our smart, from our smart home, so from our smartphones to solar-powered homes, energy storage is quite the hero behind the scenes. So why don't you expand a little bit on that and talk about what some of the trends are that you see in the future of energy storage systems?
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit about it because energy storage is really hot right now and it's evolving really fast, and it's not just about batteries anymore. So it's going everywhere on cars, it's going on residential, it's going on grid connected batteries. And there are a few trends going on. The first one that is pushing all the other trends is the higher cell capacity. So battery manufacturers are just packing more energy into each one of the cells, which means they have longer run times and you have fewer cells per system. And of course, that lowers the cost, which is always the goal. It's really important for grid scale storage because, as you can imagine, they need to provide massive amount of energy and current. And so you need to scale up the capacity of each one of these batteries. So because of these high cell capacities, the other trend, and it's really hot right now, is the active cell balancing. Because before, with the smaller capacity cells, you would just balance them by burning off the excess energy of the cells in heat. Sometimes you're going to have variance between cells. So one cells are going to have more capacity than other cells. They're not identical because of manufacturing process, because of the chemistry that goes on each one of these batteries. So when you charging them up and down, that difference needs to be equalized or balanced. With passive balancing, you basically just burning that energy from the higher voltage cell. So you're wasting energy. High cell capacities, you don't want to burn a lot of energy between the cells. You want to transfer that energy in between cells or between the cells and the pack. So this energy is redistributed between cells in real time during charge or discharge of the system. That will improve the performance and lifespan, and it will enhance safety as well. It's something that customers are not negotiating. It's basically a requirement. Then the next trend is, again, because of the higher cell capacities, the cells are getting very expensive and they need to be reused or given a second life after being used for energy storage. It's called battery passport. If you follow the European market closely, you see that this is now a requirement in the EU starting in 2026. What is battery passport, you may ask? It's basically this digital record, and it tracks the battery materials, the manufacturing history, the performance, and the recycling status. And this will be the static piece of it. There is also the dynamic piece of it, which looks at the number of cycles of this battery, the depth of discharge, the state of health, and etc. It's like a digital birth certificate for batteries, and it follows the battery pack throughout its lifetime. Then the next one, the last trend that I'm seeing around is the EIS, Electromechanical Impedance Spectroscopy. This is a diagnostic tool that helps the manufacturers understand the internal health of the battery without opening the battery. So basically, it's an X-ray of each one of the battery cells. It detects early signs of degradation. It helps with the safety management and performance issues. It enables predictive maintenance, so you can find out if a cell is going bad before it actually goes into a thermal runaway or catches on fire, so you can replace it, and gives you better estimation of state of health and state of charge of each one of these cells. Ultimately, it also helps with a better balancing management, and that's important because if you want to do perfect active balancing for your entire battery pack, EIS is going to help you a lot with that.
So, Marcelo, you walked us through 4 trends: the higher cell capacity, active cell balancing, the battery passport, and EIS. How is NXP responding to those trends with our technology and solutions?
Yeah, so the short answer to this one is we're everywhere, all in. So we offer each one of these technologies separately, or we also direct support them in a reference design. We have a roadmap of reference designs. We have a few reference designs that are in production right now, or a few in development. Each one of them will have all of these technologies or some of these technologies. It depends on where they are on the roadmap. We support active cell balancing. We currently have what we've been hearing from customers feedback as the lowest cost active cell balancing solution on the market. We do have a battery passport reference design implemented that communicates with the cloud, communicates with your phone. So you have not only the cloud management for the battery passport, but you also have a phone app that will connect to the cloud, read from the battery through NFC, whoever is looking at the battery passport, what is the current status of that particular battery. We also have EIS. This one, we have the chips, but we don't have the reference design yet. That one is in the works. But we have proof of concept in our lab in Toulouse, France, that shows how it works, how we measure each one of the impedances for the cells, and how we can predict thermal runaway and actually completely prevent fires in a battery. We think that one is going to be really disruptive and really important for safety measures.
That's exciting, especially that we're not talking about future capabilities, but real deployable tech now. With that being said, what do you think sets NXP apart from others in this space?
A good question. So when it comes to energy storage, what NXP really stands out by is offering a complete reference design. It's not just components. We provide the full hardware design. We give away the schematics, the PCB layout, the entire BOM. We have a complete software stack that includes all the low-level drivers, all the way up to the functional safety manager, the balancing manager, all the interfaces to read data from the batteries. We also have, in our microcontroller, we have an extra core that does all the application layer tasks. For example, state of health and state of charge calculation. So all this included in our package. On top of all this, we offer the functional safety certification for the entire system. It's certified for both IC 60730 and IC 61508, which means it's a CO2 Class B certified solution. That's a huge differentiator in the market because it's going to give our customers the fastest path to compliance and the fastest path to market and reduce a lot their development risk. If they just want to accelerate their time to market, this is the go-to solution. On the trends, we have the lowest cost active cell balancing solution. It's a very elegant solution and it can do balancing up to 10 amps. On Battery Passport, again, it's a complete software stack that includes even the phone app to connect to the battery. And on EIS, what differentiates us from everybody else is that we do EIS for the entire pack. While others are doing for each one of the cells, we excite the entire pack to extract the impedance from each one of the cells simultaneously.
Okay, so now you've made all of our listeners excited. You have you've touched on why we are leading. We're providing these differentiated solutions. You've talked about this reference design. It sounds great. It has everything they need. If you want to get your solution done faster, this reference design is going to get you there. So I have to ask, how do they get the design? You've gone through what's included, but what are the steps for them to get started?
So to get started with the reference design, they can just go to our website right now. If they go under power energy and energy storage, they will find the BESS 1500 volts, and that is our reference design. They can look into the information, download the documents, they can look into the schematics, they can look into the board layouts, they can even take a peek at some of the functional safety documents. The entire source code for the software is also available. It's downloadable from our website without even having to register. If they want to purchase one of these kits, they just can click on the buy button. The cost is around $2,500, and they get the entire kit for evaluation.
So for those listening, it sounds like they just need to go to nxp.com/BESS to get started.
Correct.
All right. Well, Marcelo, this has been great. Before we wrap up, maybe you could spend a little time going through the technical block diagram. You said you had it out in front of you, so that'll help. Talk about some of the features of the block diagram. And for our listeners, maybe drop a couple NXP components that they may recognize that are included in the reference design.
Sure. So let me step back a little bit and tell you what this reference design is made of. Basically, we have three hardware components. These three hardware components are three different PCBs. One of them is the BMU. That stands for Battery Management Unit. And this is the brain of the system. It monitors the overall battery pack, it manages the communication, ensures that everything operates in a safe manner. And that's where we implement the key features like functional safety, state of charge estimation, and thermal management. In this PCB, you find one of our microcontrollers. So that's an S32K358. That is a 3-core device, 2 cores in lockstep. 1 core is for the application layer. We have the PMIC, we have CAN FD interface, we have Modbus interface from NXP. We also have TPL gateway, that is for the isolated communication between the BMU and the high voltage pieces of the system. We have contactor drivers and secure element for the battery passport. So these are the components within this BMU component. The other component is the BJB, and that stands for a battery junction box. And this is a high voltage monitoring system and current sensing. So it looks into high voltage protection, pre-charge control, it manages all the contactors, does isolation monitoring, fault detection, and most importantly is the current measurement through the shunt. In that piece, we have the MC33772, which is our analog front end, which is optimized for this current measurement for the high voltage system. And then lastly, we have our CMU, or cell monitoring unit. That is what monitors individual cells and their temperatures. It's where you implement passive balancing or the active balancing and EIS. In this block, we have the MC33774, which is the 18-channel analog front end with the highest precision for industrial components on the market. I just want to mention that we are evolving this. And so on the next generation, we're moving to our BMI 7318, which is a CO2 certified analog front end that has 25 years of guaranteed lifetime. That's critical for energy storage. We know that most customers out there, they want this system to last beyond 20 years. So we are designing our components to last for a minimum of 25 years.
Well, that's excellent. That's a very good walkthrough of the block diagrams. And Marcelo, I'll capture those key blocks in the episode notes and maybe put some key links so people can reference those and get directly to the reference design that you and Bridgette called out.
Good. I just want to mention one more thing.
Sure.
This reference design and this system is very flexible and modular. So it doesn't matter if you're building a 48 volt system or a 1500 volt system, it's capable and scalable. Okay, we've certified this for up to 1500 volts and 500 amps.
All right. Well, is there any other information that you'd like to share with the listeners, Marcelo?
No, if they need more information, they can find all the documents in our website. We also have a lot of videos. We're going to be participating on many events. So CS, Smarter E in Europe, and RE Plus, I'm going to be there as well for those who are attending. And yes, I think this is it.
All right. Well, make sure you stop by at those events and say hi to Marcelo. And again, appreciate that you took the time today to share a lot of this information that I had not even heard about. This is great. Let's start our recap, Bridgette. Today, with the help of Marcelo, I've learned quite a bit about energy storage. We've learned what the trends are, what's redefining the space, and how NXP is providing not just those silicon components that Marcelo listed, but really that full stack solution. Everything from the software, the safety, the certifications, and real-world reference designs that can be scaled to fit their power and application requirements. So developers that are working on the next generation of energy systems know where they can go. They can come to NXP.
And for those ready to explore more, we will drop the links in the show notes for the videos, documentation, the reference designs. And while you're there, be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. And Marcelo, thanks so much for being here with us today. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right. And until next time, stay energized, charge your batteries, keep innovating, and we'll see you on the next EdgeVerse Techcast episode.